Hi, GM. I'm Samarth and today I'm going to be explaining and demoing Mega CLI. So first of all, what is Mega CLI? It is the ultimate tool you need for interacting with MegaETH directly from your terminal. You can install it very easily by just doing npm install-g MegaETH CLI, or if you use yarn, you can just do yarn global add MegaETH CLI, or if you use pnpm, you can just do pnpm add-g MegaETH CLI. Since I already have it installed, I won't run these commands. Mega CLI is for both developers and users, though the focus is more on devs. So 3 out of 10 commands require you to have Foundry installed on your machine, but the other 7 work just fine without it. There is a command in this tool that will help you install Foundry, and the most optimal way to utilize Mega CLI is by using an account via Foundry key stores. I'll get to that in a bit. So here's the list of all the commands. And yeah, if you count, there are only 9 commands shown here. That is because the 10th command is an Easter egg and I haven't mentioned it anywhere. However, there is a hint given in the documentation which I'll link in the description. Go check it out and see if you can find it. Now, let's go over these commands one by one. So the first command is mega setup, and it will just check and install dependencies. Here, dependencies just means Foundry. So let's try running it. Yeah, it says Foundry is installed. You can get additional information about any command by using --help, like so. Yeah, it shows us what the command does. Now let's move on to Mega account. So there are 3 subcommands that you can use with Mega account, and these are create, list, and import. You'll use create if you don't have a single wallet. You'll use list if you've already created an account via this command, and you'll use import if you want to import an existing private key that you have. So let's try creating a brand new account. We'll use Mega account create, enter a name for your new wallet. I'll just call it demo. Yeah, now you have to create a new password. Make sure you remember this. And yeah, it gives us the address. Let me load it up with some funds using MegaETH testnet faucet. Now that gives me a good excuse to go on to the next command, which is Mega balance. Mega balance can run in 2 ways. You can either give the address directly, or you can use a key store account. I'll show you both ways in just a second. So first, let's check the balance of the account that we just created. So I'll do mega balance -- account, and our account was called demo. So I'll have to give it the password. And once I do that, it gives me the balance. I can also format this balance in Ether using the --ether flag, like so. And yeah, it gives me the balance in Ether. Now let's try doing it directly via an address. Let me just copy this address right over here and I'll run mega balance. And yeah, it gives me the balance. Now let's check out the faucet command. One thing to note is that when you run this command, you'll actually be interacting with a contract in the background. So a very small amount of Mega testnet Ether needs to already be there in an account. And that's why I had to use the official site for funding my new account. But now that my account is funded, I can use the faucet command to get some more funds. And this faucet is currently dripping 0.001 ETH. There are 2 ways of running this command too. One is by using your private key and one by using the account name. So if you don't have Foundry installed, you'll have to use your private key. But if you do have it, you can use accounts. Let's try both the methods. I'll do mega faucet --account demo. I'll enter the password. It checks the eligibility and then claims. It also shows the new balance and the transaction hash. Similarly, you can use your private key directly via the --private key option. You can only claim once per 24 hours per address. So let me use the private key of a different address. I'll do mega faucet --private key. So let me just give you a warning before proceeding. It is not a good practice at all to put in your private key directly like this. The only reason I'm doing it is because this private key is already well known and it is given by tools like Foundry and Hardhat. Ideally, you would be using an account, and if you don't have Foundry, you would be using environment variables. So let me just put it in. And yeah, just like that, it succeeds. Now let's move on to the next command, which is just fluffle. If you've been active in the MegaETH ecosystem, you're probably already aware of this website called fluffle.tools, built by Ultra. So when you enter this command, it'll just open this website in your browser. Shout out to Ultra for creating this beautiful website. It says thank you Ultra here as well. And if you Ctrl+click, it'll take you to a Twitter account. And yeah, now all of these commands were those which can be used by both regular users and developers. The commands below will primarily be used by developers. So there are 3 ways you can run Mega init. The first one is just Mega init. The second one is Mega init with the front-end flag, and the third one is Mega init with the Foundry flag. As you may have guessed, just Mega init creates a full stack project. Mega init --frontend creates a Next.js project configured for MegaETH. Mega init --foundry will initialize just a Foundry project, which is almost the same as running Forge init. So let's try creating a full stack project. I'll go to my code directory and I'll Mega init. I'll just call it Mega full stack app and wait for it to execute. Now if I go to this directory with cd mega full stack app and I open my code editor over here like so, you'll see that a complete project has been created. Our next app is over here with example env files also given, and a Foundry project too, which specifies MegaETH RPC in its foundry.toml file. Now let's get to the dev command. Similar to init, there are three ways to run megadev. One is just megadev, the second one is megadev dash frontend, and the third one is megadev dash foundry. Running just megadev will start your local blockchain via Anvil and will also start your Next.js development server. Let's try running that. The problem that will arise here is that the outputs of both your Next.js server and Anvil will show up in the same terminal and will not look very neat. So instead of that, what you can do is open two separate terminals, and in one of them run megadev dash frontend, and in the other one run megadev dash foundry. And yeah, we're all set. So before you try to see what the website looks like, you'll have to go to Wallet Connect, which is now called Reown, and get a project ID from there. The link is given in the .env.example file. I've already got my project ID, so I'll just put it in a .env file over here. So once that is done, we can see what the website looks like. So we'll go over here and click on this link. And boom, it's ready. So there are links over here. This one is to the official docs, this one to the official faucet, this one to Mega CLI's documentation, and this one to just megaeth.com. It says connect your wallet to unlock a page where you can start interacting with smart contracts right away. So I'll just connect my wallet, and yeah, it says page unlocked, and it shows my account balance over here. So first let's try updating this page just to see what happens. This should update, and yeah, it does. So let's go to this page. Now this page is reading and writing data inside a contract that I've already deployed on MegaETH testnet, and that is why it's called the global gmega counter. There is just one function in the contract, and it's called say gmega, and you can only say gmega. Before I do that, since we've initialized a full stack app, this tab also appears. Had we done mega init dash frontend instead, this tab would not have appeared. Let's go to it. It says locally deployed contract not found, and this leads us to the next two commands. So now let's explore Mega Compile. Well, there's nothing much to it. It's just a wrapper over Forge build or Forge compile. So I'll just cd into Foundry app and I'll do Mega Compile. Yeah, it says compiler unsuccessful. Now the final command that we're going to be exploring is Mega Deploy. So Mega Deploy is a wrapper over Forge create, but it does have its own quirks. For example, the RPC URL of MegaETH testnet is already specified and you don't need to enter it manually. If you want to deploy a contract locally, you'll just do Mega Deploy and then specify the contract with dash broadcast. You don't even need to enter the account or the private key from which you want to deploy, because it automatically uses the first private key which is provided by Anvil. And if you want to deploy contracts on Mega testnet, you'll just do Mega Deploy, then specify the contract, then dash account with the account name or dash private key with the private key, followed by dash testnet and dash broadcast. Let's first try deploying a contract locally. So as you can see, the contract is in a folder called src and it's called gmega counter. So let's try deploying this contract. We'll just do mega deploy src/gmega counter.sol gmega counter, and I'll specify broadcast. And yeah, it gets deployed. Let's check my Anvil node. And yeah, it did get deployed over here. Now, if you're an experienced developer, you already know that the same private key with the same nonce will create an account at the same address every time. So after running Anvil, the first contract that gets deployed using the first given private key will always be at this address. So I've made use of this information, and in my next tab, if I go to constants, you can see the local contract address is given as this. And that's why if you switch back to the next tab, the message is gone and the local gmega counter is working as intended. Now let me try and say gmega. First I have to switch my account, and once I've done that, let's say gmega. And yeah, it gets updated to 1. Now let's try saying gmega on MegaETH testnet instead of our local chain. So I'll just say gmega. And yeah, it gets updated to 2. You'll be able to add to this count too, and you can say gmega as many times as your funds permit. If you want to deploy your own gmega contract on MegaETH testnet, you can do that too. You'll just cd into Foundry app and do mega deploy dash testnet dash broadcast and dash account demo. So again, I'll just enter the password of my key store, and yeah, it's deployed. Let's check this address on the MegaETH Explorer. So I'll enter the copied address over here and search it. Yeah, as you can see, it is of type contract, which means the contract got deployed successfully. Like I mentioned earlier, there is an Easter egg command here that is not mentioned anywhere. Since you stayed to the end of the video, I'll give you a hint which is different from the one in the documentation. It's a 4-letter misspelling of a word. That's all the help I'm giving you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this demo, and I also hope that you'll enjoy using Mega CLI even more than I enjoyed developing it. Again, the command is npm install -g megaeth-cli. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.